What was it? What? 3 words, 2. What is it? What's that song? You know what I'm talking about?
The Ed Sheeran one.
It was like dun, dun, dun,
Yeah,
dun,
one word,
dun.
two, or one thing, to
One
do,
thing
three
to
things,
say, three words for you. That's what it was. Welcome back.
Welcome back. Fuck Ed Sheeran. No, I'm just kidding.
So your Weekly TIFU Digest. Hey, Ed Sheeran's, well, old Ed Sheeran was good. I'm not a big fan of new Ed Sheeran. But,
Yeah,
I mean, we talked about that before.
Yeah, like I'm not a huge fan or a fan, but
No, I think his older stuff, like his acoustic stuff. That
I do respect that for sure. Like I respect his craft. I respect what he does. Yeah. I'm not a huge fan. Like, you know, like
That's
genuinely, fair. Like I'm not like, I don't think I've ever bopped along to an Ed Sheeran song, you know?
Oh, so. No, I definitely have. Yeah. But
I'm too hard for that, bro.
I think one of the things like we talked about before is like it comes down to, like we talked about, you know, when artists evolve in their sound, sometimes that sound won't be what your, you know, preference is, but that's okay. Like they can evolve and you'll find something else you'll like, but you can still listen to their old stuff.
Yeah.
So that's
where
where
I'm
I'm at
shit on it.
Yeah. I also didn't finish the title, so welcome back to your Weekly TIFU Digest. This is not about Ed Sheeran. We get on tangents, so it happens. But while you're here, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and drop a comment down below talking about how much you love Ed Sheeran. Oh man,
such a weird start to the show.
Yeah, I don't know. This weekend's been weird. I fully admit.
Yeah.
Like this weekend has had, I don't know. You ever just have those weekends where just things just feel off? Like nothing happens.
Yeah.
Nothing weird happens, but shit just feels off. Like it's like I don't know. It's so hard to explain, but this weekend I've definitely felt like, man, there's just not enough time this weekend, but I've gotten everything done that I need to do. This is weird. Like,
I definitely had those weekends. This weekend was almost like that, but it was weird, but not weird enough, you know, to kind of classify into that. But
yeah, no, that makes sense. But what's not weird?
I was about to use the same one.
It's an ad read. Y'all already know what it is. We're partnered with Into the AM, proudly partnered over here, rocking their gear every single day. So you should definitely go check them out right now by clicking the link in the description or in the pinned comment, intotheam.com/lousy. And what do you get when you get there, Sam?
Well, if you go there, you get some awesome clothes to pick from. You get t-shirts, hats, hoodies, underwear, pants, jackets, flannels, everything pretty much. I think they might have socks. I don't know. They might have socks. We'll see. But if you go on there, and I think they do. Double check. While you double check, if you find some stuff that you like, put them all in your cart, and then use our code LOUSY at checkout. That's LOUSY for those that can't spell. You get 10% on top of whatever deal they're running, which is usually quite a lot. And their website is bright. You see, that was the gates of heaven opening and blinding Joe, but only for a second, because Into the AM heals all things. This got weird all of a sudden. And
they do not have socks.
They do not have socks. Alex, get some socks. But yeah, so if you use our code LOUSY at checkout, you get 10% off on top of whatever else they're running. And plus that helps support us, you know, help keeps the light on. And so.
Yep. Everything he said. I don't need to repeat it. You know what to do. Click the link right now in the description or in the pinned comment, intotheam.com/lousy. Do it while you're listening to us. Great listening material while you're shopping. Go check it out. They truly are always running deals. So pop in anytime. Just use our link and also fuck honey. Deactivate that shit.
Hashtag.
Put that hashtag in the comments. But we know why you're here. We know why you're here. It's Thursday. It's Thursday night. We're not Critical Role. It's Thursday, which means it's time for some fucked up stuff. A lot of good fuck ups. Now this week's gonna be a little bit different. Because usually we do 4 stories, and technically we are still doing 4 stories. However, the third one has an original post. So we're not going to be reading comments today. We're going to give you 5 stories, our commentary, and a lot of laughter for y'all. Hopefully.
Yeah. Usually TIFU's funny, every now and then gets a little
There's that
heavy.
one that sneaks in.
Yeah, that is just, it's like, oh man,
Yeah.
like that actually was genuine. Fuck. But so far, a couple of these titles have looked really fucking funny. So
Yes.
we shall read those. And actually, I believe you starts this week, my good man.
Oh, do I?
I think so. I double checked, but let me double check again. That's called triple checking. Yep.
Cool.
You read first.
All right.
Riveting content here on the Lousy Show.
We rep the name proudly. All right, let's dive in. Let's waste no time. Today I fucked up by confessing about my sex doll, and now Smosh Pit is roasting me for it. For those of you who don't know, Smosh, a channel that we both enjoy, also does Reddit readings. We appreciate y'all. So this,
Yep.
Last year, I posted on Confession subreddit about one of the dumbest things that I've ever done. Long story short, I had an adult doll hidden from my wife, locked away in the hunting room. One day, I decided to get rid of it because it felt wrong to keep it. I made a genius plan to drive out to the forest with a spade and give her a proper burial. Except that I ended up like a total idiot because I panicked in middle of the drive. The whole thing started feeling shady as hell. What if someone saw me digging or something? Or dig an ore?
He's a dwarf.
So in a moment of pure panic, I just stopped the car on the roadside and threw her out of the trunk to the side of the road. I thought that would be the end of it. Nope, it's not. I look, the grammatical errors are not on me, okay? I need y'all to stay with me here.
You have some good grammatical, all right?
Grammatical. The next day, someone, of course, found her lying there, ass up, and it made headlines in the local newspaper. Then it even spread to national paper. My doll became famous, and I was mortified and a little worried. But at least it was not traced back to me. After a long time, I made the confession post 7 months ago. Fast forward to this weekend, and I've apparently managed to fuck it up even more. My confession post ended up being a topic on Smosh Pit podcast / YouTube show this weekend. Not only did they laugh at my stupidity, but Trevor, how do you say his last name? Everts? I think it's Everts. Recreated this exact pose my doll was found in. There he was on the scene, lying on his back, legs crossed, ass up, hands gripping his cheeks, just like her, my old sex doll. Watching that, I was both embarrassed and laughing my ass off. What a fucked up life
decision.
What a fucked up life decision I made. Now I'm officially the guy who panicked, threw a sex doll on the side of the road, and became podcast YouTube material for the internet to laugh at. I spectacularly fucked this one up. Thanks, Smosh, for reminding me just how dumb I am. TLDR, I tried to get rid of my old sex doll by burying it, but panicked and threw it on the roadside instead. It ended up in local and national news, and now my confession post was featured on Smosh Pit. Trevor Everts even recreated the exact post she was found in. My fuck up is now viral content. Edit. I regret throwing the doll in nature. If I could go back, I'd handle it differently. I learned afterward that in Norway, we can return them to the store for proper disposal.
Is there like a trade-in discount? Like, what the fuck?
Do you remember back in the day, Cash for Clunkers?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why are we not doing that? Why are we not doing that? Come on, y'all.
Clash for Humpers. Cash for Humpers, excuse me.
Like, we're missing. The economy's fucked right now, and we need money. How do we do that? Throw away all of your old sex toys, give them to the government, let them dispose them, get you some cash, go buy more sex toys. Like, it's the circle. It's the circle of life.
That
and it moves us all.
I'm just trying to think realistically how that worked, and it wouldn't. So, also, if you really want to save money, buy used sex dolls. That will save you money.
Oh,
out of this whole post, yes, it's funny, but the spelling of decision is what sent me to a whole nother plane of existence.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a fuck up. That's fuck up and a half. or two, or maybe even 2.
Yeah. Uh, so here's something I want to point out. Like, you're okay. So let's break this down real quick. You're a top 1% poster. You knew that story got listed. So are you embarrassed because they found the story? Like, you fucked up with the sex doll, make no mistake. But you're talking about you were embarrassed, but came back to post it. Like, if
I'm
it were
assuming
me,
the account's anonymous enough to.
I would hope so. Because if it were me, and Lord have mercy, I've done my fair share of embarrassing shit.
Embarrassing.
Look, I'm just following along with what this folks doing. Look, I mean, there's a story that Sam and I both know, and if that shit made headlines, I'm not talking about it.
Glory, glory, what a hell of a way to die.
Yeah, I'm not talking about it. It will go with me to the garage. Like, it's not, there's never again. I'm not posting on Reddit or nothing. So
Well, if you die first, I'm totally telling the story of Reddit, if Reddit still exists at that point.
I will know.
No. I'll read it at your funeral. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, let's move on. Up next. Now, here's a question. How do you want to do this?
Well, so the second one's a pretty big reader, so I'll take both of these just to make it fair. So, so this is actually the original post from 3 years ago. And so number 3 was an update. So we'll be reading the original post and then the update right after that. So the original post was, today I fucked up by being girlfriendless, which is a throwaway. This morning, my mom barged into my room with a fucking butt plug in her hand and presumed it was mine. She said what I chose to do with my body is my business, even if she disagrees with it. But what she will not accept is finding my gay sex toys all over the house for everyone to see. Freeze frame. For the record, I'm not gay. The butt plug belongs to someone else in my family, presumably my younger sister, who happens to be going through a hoe phase at the moment. No judgment, good for her. However, my parents, specifically my old man, has been on my case for most of my teenage years about getting a girlfriend because that is apparently what boys my age do, according to him. So far, I've not been lucky in that department, and I guess being girlfriendless for this long made my parents believe I must be into balls and buttholes because the first sign of a butt plug in the house made them automatically think of me. Not my sister, who's living the life of literally any high school girl on HBO. I've never had sex. My sister has plenty, yet I'm the one taking the fall. The more I tried to convince my mom the butt plug wasn't mine, the more convinced she became that, other than her yelling me awake and accusing me of fucking my own asshole, additional measures needed to be taken to educate me about responsible sexual behavior. So come next week, Tuesday, immediately after school, I have an appointment with our doctor, who my mom has instructed to talk to me about the dangers of anal penetration. Fuck my life. TLDR, never had a girlfriend. Parents assumed I'm gay. Butt plug was found in the house. Didn't belong to me. My mom didn't believe me. Now I'm booked to see Dr. Butthole. Dr. Butthole. This is incredible.
Their name is the proof is in the poop.
Yep.
Just continue.
Yeah. All right. So now with the update. This update is about 3 years too late. Sorry, I'm bad at Reddit. The following happened soon after my original post. My mother booked an appointment with our doctor on my behalf. She wanted our doctor to educate me about the dangers of anal penetration after she discovered a butt plug in our house. Since I was perpetually single throughout my teens, my parents became convinced that I might be gay and that the butt plug belonged to me, even though all of us lived under the same roof as my sexually active sister, who was practically a nymphomaniac. I was determined to make my mom regret taking me to an anal doctor, so I insisted that she didn't leave me alone with Dr. Butthole. As soon as the doc asked me if I was having anal intercourse, specifically on the receiving end, I nodded and asked the doctor if my compulsion to get plowed in the ass like a horny little twink could be something I got from my parents. My mom looked at me like she was telepathically trying to warn me not to embarrass both of us before she proceeded to basically beg the doctor to please skip to the part where he tells me why butt stuff was bad. When Dr. Butthole opened his mouth to explain the risks of anal penetration, I reached in my school bag and casually took out my notebook, which I strategically covered from front to back with cutouts of naked guys showing off their erect penises and hairless buttholes. My mom snatched the notebook from me and chucked it into the paper bin before I could click my pen. The doctor was speechless for a moment, but my visibly annoyed mother broke the awkward silence by reminding the doctor that I was still telling us about bacterial infections. I knew it was going to be an uncomfortable experience for me, so I did my best to make everyone uncomfortable. My mom explained to my dad what happened, and the two of them decided to use all their parental power to punish me for as long as possible. No one took ownership of the butt plug until literally a couple of weeks ago when my sister called to inform me that her parents just left her apartment after our mom used her bathroom and discovered another butt plug. My sister said she no longer felt ashamed to tell her mom that not only was that her butt plug in the bathroom, but so was the infamous butt plug that my mom was convinced was mine. I was proud of my sister because I knew she wanted to clear my name long ago, but none of us, including my parents, were emotionally mature enough to react properly or to react appropriately to something as mundane as a fucking sex toy. TLDR, never had a girlfriend. Parents believed I might be gay. Butt plug was found in the house. Didn't belong to me. Mom was convinced it did, thus booking an appointment with Dr. Butthole, who had to explain to me the risks of anal sex. I accepted my fate and played the role of the over-the-top gay son during my appointment, making everyone uncomfortable and subsequently getting me grounded. Years later, my sister finally confessed that the butt plug belonged to her. Wow. Such a good fucking story.
What the fuck just happened?
Well, Dr. Butthole, something about twinks.
Dude, that part, yo, kudos to you on the line, man. Like compulsion to get plowed in the ass like a horny little twink. Holy shit. Dude, like this is why you don't assume shit. Like you didn't fuck up. The parents fucked up. You did everything you could. Like honestly, this is top tier.
100% top tier. Yeah.
Oh,
honestly surprised this isn't higher up. So next two got to be pretty fucking good.
They better be.
Or
fantastic.
It could just be because this one only came out 2 days ago. So
yeah.
This one will be the top by the time, or would have been the top, I should say.
Honestly, like, you know, the doctor couldn't, like, I want to say this. When, like, kudos to the doctor for not judging, right? Like, pulling out a notebook full of, like, dudes with their wieners and buttholes showing. But, like, at some point, you got to ask, like, okay, you know, are you messing with me? Or is it, you know, like, because teenagers play games.
Yeah.
And to me, it's a reasonable and respectful answer, you know, or question to be like, like, is this real? Like, are you actually experiencing this? Like, you've asked initially and you got that line, the horny little twink line. At some point, you got to double back and be like, okay, let's talk. Are you being serious? Like, like, so I know, because I want to, you know, I think that would give ample opportunity for OP to be like, no, I'm not. The butt plug's not mine. My booty hole is safe. So, I don't know. Maybe am I wrong? Let me know in the comments. Am I wrong?
I'm sure that story was the top story in that doctor's office for at least a year. Like at least. Yeah. Like, the doctor came out of there, just like went to the first nurse and was like, "You're never gonna fucking believe what just happened."
Yep. 100%.
Yeah. Jeez.
Oh man. Moving on. All right. Moving on. That was oh my god. I didn't even see how big this story was.
It's a reader. It's about what I just read, so you'll be fine.
All right, here we go. Today I fucked up by calling my family's recently deceased son a fucking moron. Rewind, Sam, future Sam, play the clip we just said a little bit ago about shit getting a lot. That's where we're at right now, I feel. So, yeah. I didn't realize how long this story is until I typed it out. So sorry for the long read. Well, fuck you too. Okay. For context, I'm a mailman who works out of the Midwest. Oh, I don't have to tell my fellow carriers in this area that the past 3 months have been rough. Not only has my city had snow for 3 weeks straight now, but Christmas package volume hasn't gone down very much. I've been working from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Saturday for these 3 months, just trying to keep up with the volume. It's also been very cold, and all around I've been extremely stressed out and tired. Okay, I rescind my fuck you because I feel you. Well, yesterday was no different, as I was told first thing in the morning that I had 2 routes I had to get done on my own, plus any extra packages when I got back. Not only that, but my ProMaster, a bigger mail truck, had been taken on Sunday for maintenance, and I'd had to take a much smaller Metris car. This means I'll have much less space for all the mail and packages, but Metris cannot drive through any amount of snow. Not joking, a light dusting on the road will result in you getting stuck. So I was already tired and very frustrated. Fast forward to halfway through my day and I'm delivering packages to a nicer neighborhood. I see the house that I'm dropping a package at doesn't have any open spots to park on the street except for in front of their neighbor's fairly long driveway. It's not uncommon for us carriers to block a driveway for a minute just to drop off a package, so I don't think anything of it. Well, I couldn't see at the end of the driveway due to the other cars, and as I turned to park, I realized that at the end of their driveway is a pretty huge pile of snow. I tried to brake and turn, but it was too late. I land right in the middle of the snow pile, completely stuck. I try in vain to get myself out, but for safety reasons, we aren't allowed to dig ourselves out. So I have to call the office to get a tow truck, which I'm told may take an hour to get there. This means I'll have to stay an extra hour to get the rest of the packages delivered. Pretty obviously, I'm absolutely livid at this point, cursing up a storm in my car. Well, down the driveway comes a man who doesn't look very happy. He throws up his arms in that "what the fuck are you doing" pose, which just makes me more mad. I get out and snap him up. "Can I help you?" He snaps back at me with "what are you doing blocking my driveway?" This is where I fucked up. I'm usually very calm and polite with customers, no matter how rude they are to me. But today I just couldn't control myself and I say, "Well, it looks like someone was too lazy to shovel their snow on their driveway into their yard and instead piled it in the street." The man gets red in the face and looks like he's going to scream at me, but takes a deep breath and says, "My son shoveled this for me," without even thinking about responding, "Well, your son is a fucking moron." I again expect him to yell at me, which is in hindsight is exactly what I wanted him to do. Instead, he stumbles back like I struck him, and I see tears start to pour from his eyes. He immediately turns and half runs up the driveway, and I can see he's sobbing. I instantly feel confused and extremely guilty because mailmen or not, there's no reason for me to speak to him that way. So pretty quickly, I follow him up the driveway where I could see the cars parked. On both of the back windshields is a sticker of a boy with text on top and bottom that says, using a fake name, "R.I.P. Riley, we'll miss you, 2008 to 2025.
Yikes.
I feel like I was slapped in the face. Their child had passed 2 weeks ago. I walk to their door in a daze and knock. Both parents answer, a mix of fury and anguish on their faces. That's when the stress and exhaustion from the past 3 months and the intense guilt I was feeling hit me like a brick wall. I dropped to my knees and began to cry, trying to tell them I was sorry in between sobs. To my astonishment, both parents dropped next to me, wrapped me in a hug, and started to cry with me. We stayed like that for a few minutes until I got my crying under control, and I told them why I was so angry and how sorry I was. The dad put his hand on my shoulder and told me he forgave me, which brought on more tears. We introduced ourselves and talked for a bit, but eventually I had to go wait for the tow truck in my car. But as I was waiting, they both came out with winter gear and snow shovels. They were offering to dig me out, which I vehemently refused. I told them I didn't at all deserve their help, but the mother told me I cleaned up my son's messes for 16 years because I'm his mother. That doesn't stop just because he's passed. Which caused me to cry even more. They eventually got me out, and I exchanged phone numbers with them and told them I'd invite them over for dinner later this week. They accepted, and now my wife and I are going to cook them a veritable feast this coming Saturday. TLDR, I fucked up by getting angry at a family's son for shoveling the snow in their driveway onto the street, not knowing he died a few days later.
I think it was supposed to be earlier, but
Uh,
oh no, I see. A few days later after he shoveled it. Got it. Okay. Yeah, that's a heavy one. That's a heavy one. It's a good lesson to learn of, like, kind of regardless of how shitty you think your shit is, somebody else's is worse. And they killed you with kindness, which is a good way to react. So, thankfully, it all kind of played out well, and hopefully, a good friendship comes out of a story like that, or at the very least, a good dinner.
Apologies on that. Yeah, that I don't handle child, death well, ever.
Yeah.
As a parent, that shit fucks me up bad. So, because it's a genuine fear I have for my own kids. I know it's inevitable, things happen, but like, the realistic side is feelings are real too. So taking a second,
excuse me,
we're gonna get back into it. We have one last story for y'all. Sam, this one's yours. Take it away.
Hopefully a whole lot more lighthearted.
I'm sorry, am I reading that number right?
I'll read it out loud. Today I fucked up by eating 161 eggs in 13 days. Let's see what happens. I ate 12.
Trigger warning. You'll understand why in a second. Trigger warning. Go ahead.
I ate 12 to 13 eggs a day and ended up spiraling into severe depression and started having some pretty dark suicidal thoughts, like constantly thinking about cutting my neck or wrists off. Jesus, bud. Nothing brought me joy. I was so exhausted physically, mentally, and emotionally. All I wanted to do was stay in bed. I'm sure it was because I had way too much acetylcholine. Yep. Eggs are naturally rich. Huh?
I'm assuming that's what was in eggs.
Got it. Eggs are naturally rich in choline, which the body converts into acetylcholine. I remember feeling the exact same messed up way when I took supplements that increased ACH. How did I not see this coming? High ACH dampens dopamine and serotonin, leaving you feeling numb, apathetic, and consumed by dark thoughts. It also overstimulates the nervous system, causing you to burn out, feel anxious, and just utterly exhausted. I felt every bit of that. In case you're wondering, I ate so many eggs simply because I loved them. I know it was a stupid decision, but love makes you blind, Yolk high is real shit. I get this urge to put an egg on everything. I'll stick with 3 eggs a day max from now on, but first I need to detox. The first few days are going to be rough. There will be cravings, withdrawal, maybe dreams about runny yolks. Gotta stay strong. No omelets, no sunny side ups, not even a whiff of scrambled. I'm going cold turkey. Wish me luck. TLDR, ate too many eggs, ended up deeply depressed with dark thoughts, now detoxing and cutting back to 3 eggs a day. Holy shit.
Yeah, I had to research this, and 100% it's real.
No?
Yeah, so eggs have choline, which is converted to acetylcholine in the brain. And acetylcholine is a neurotransmitter. That's real. That's 100% real. That's nuts. I love eggs too, man.
Not as much as this guy, clearly. This guy loves some fucking eggs. Which, I mean, eggs are good, but
yeah.
Damn.
I mean, I would say even because we talked about on the show about like back when I used to like do bodybuilding and whatnot. And I mean, you remember my diet back then I was pretty strict on like high proteins, clean eats kind of thing. Yeah. And it was pretty common for me to eat like 5 to 6 eggs a day, but not 12 to 13.
5 to 6 is still quite a bit. But I mean, I guess that's like a pretty big omelet.
Well, 5 to 6.
Or-
So I was breaking it up where I would do typically like 2 scrambled for a light breakfast. Kind of like, you know, breakfast with a cup of coffee, kind of like get my system going thing. And then for like a second late breakfast / lunch, because I was protein loading. Like this was like bulk time too.
Yeah.
I was beefcake, but I would eat like
Beefcake.
four boiled eggs, just salt, pepper, and just munch on them out of a baggie.
Mm.
And I mean, like that's, you know, about 6 eggs a day, but that's, I mean, I think OP here went, I see that line. Fuck that line. I want to be over there. So yeah, because I never felt that way, but like now I'm terrified. If I ever go back to doing that, I'm like,
I'm gonna keep a close eye on everybody's egg intake. Make sure that we're not getting that level.
How many you had?
You stopping at 6.
So other foods that contain choline are beef liver, chicken liver, salmon, kidney beans, yogurt, and Brussels sprouts. Fuck. There's 1, 2, 3 different foods, 4 different foods on that list that I love.
Yeah.
And neither of them are liver.
Yeah, liver. Yeah, I love salmon. Brussels sprouts
salmon's
are all right.
delicious. Kidney beans and some chili.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, I fuck with some Brussels sprouts. God bless you.
Good.
Good. All right, y'all. We're getting out of here. Let us know your thoughts. Oh my God. What am I doing? What am I doing? Let us know your thoughts on these stories today. Roller coaster indeed. Don't eat too many eggs. Don't eat too many eggs. Don't bring yourself down too far, because you never know who has it worse. Kind of trying to have a positive outlook on things. And don't dump sex dolls.
Recycle them at your nearest recycling facility.
We'll see you on Saturday.
Bye.